Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing of the Nest Hello. This is, of course, Nest's doorbell, essentially the competitor, the lead competitor to Ring's Doorbell Pro, which I've had since I turned my home as smart as could be, at least. And it is a compelling product. I mentioned when I unboxed my, Ring Doorbell Pro. Ring is, by the way, now owned by Amazon. Surprise, surprise. That by the time I get everything done with the house, Nest will probably have something. And of course they do. My subscription with Ring is just about up, and it's just about time to have this thing installed. Now, it is wired. For those of you curious about the specifications, right here on the side before I crack it open, it does shoot up to 1600 by 1200 video, 30 frames per second, claims to have HDR capability at 160-degree wide angle in terms of its field of view. And for the night vision mode, 850 nm infrared LEDs. So you are looking at, in my opinion, probably the best doorbell that money can buy. It retails for over 200, but can be found for less if you actually do some shopping. Remember, this is wired. This is not a wireless product like you get with a lot of options from Ring, aka Amazon. But what's nice about this, even though it's going to cost more to operate because your subscription will cost more, is that you do effectively have a camera now on your doorbell 24/7. Now, Ring only works based on motion, activity. It is not a 24/7 feed. That is why it is less expensive to have a cloud subscription with Ring. That's one of the principal reasons. As I try to get this off, we have some frustration-free packaging. And I mean, the profile of this I prefer to the, over the Ring. There's just about, the video quality from what I've seen is far superior. And the most important thing is that if, like me, you have Nest cameras, Nest thermostats, CO detectors, then of course you want one app for everything. I don't really care about the home security system, but the doorbell, boy, is it a pain in the ass to have to go to the Ring doorbell app. And it always lags. Nest is not perfect either. I'll be the first to say it. There's a bit of lag there too, but I assure you, Nest right now still remains best in the business. So I expect the Wi-Fi chipset in here to be better than what Ring has, which I had all sorts of issues with, not because of my router, but because of how basically inferior Ring's Wi-Fi chipset on board is. Again, this does require hardwire installation. You can see the micro USB port here, the QR code to just scan it in and network it immediately. Doorbell button, again, 160-degree lens there, microphone. It's going to be very interesting to see how this stacks up. And I will eventually give you that comparison for those of you that are wondering. Now, in terms of other paperwork, you've got some, some how to set up, which essentially is just scanning that QR code on your phone and getting down to business. And then here is your hardwiring kit for the actual doorbell itself. Follow the instructions in the Nest app to install. So not getting too deep into that right now. And last but not least, your mount plate for the doorbell. You can see the diagram right there. And what do we have in here? It's just exciting because I've been waiting. So this is basically the entire kit that you're going to need for mounting for your install, because this is not, again, a wireless device that you can just stick to the door frame. You are going to have to physically mount this. So they've included a drill bit, anchors, everything, contacts for your existing wired setup. Again, a lot to like here. Very excited that the Nest Hello, but I'm going to call it a doorbell because it is what it is, has finally arrived. And I'm just looking forward to getting it in practical use. My subscription's not up with Ring yet. I'll ride that out, but I will eventually be putting this in. You can see the speaker here also. I'm hoping that's a lot louder than what the Ring speaker on the Doorbell Pro is capable of, and from what I've seen and heard, it is. Now, Nest also has introduced a Yale Lock. That I'm not switching over to quickly just because of the styling, and I don't really want to refinish my door, frankly, at this point. But the Doorbell, that's an easy one to swap out, and that's why I'm sharing it with all of you. Highly recommended. Remember, key feature, you do have a camera with this doorbell 24/7, unlike any of the Ring products, which again only activate when there is motion. So that may be critical, may not be, but something you should be aware of, especially also people like myself who do have data caps, believe it or not, on my home internet. That'll change shortly, though. I'm going to have to pony up the extra bucks. You are going to have to prepare for a portion of your bandwidth to be dedicated to this, no differently than you would any of your other Nest cameras, because again, this is a 24/7 camera that is always recording, as long as you have it tied to the cloud service, of course, through Nest, aka Google. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.